Hey guys, we're on Campbell Avenue, I believe. I'll take a closer look at it when I get to the next sign. But we've crossed over into Campbellville Georgetown. Just wanted to show you what's happening next door to Prashad Nagar. That's Prashad Nagar. We just came out of that neighborhood. This is Bacchus Learning Center. This is Brandsville. I suppose it's a hotel. Right, a hotel I suppose. It's a pretty large establishment. It looks like it might be a place to stay. Brandsville. Anyway, so I wanted to show you what's happening here in Campbellville. Campbellville also is undergoing a wave of renovation and construction. Alright, there's a lot of new buildings being built, a lot of old buildings being renovated. That, for example, is the backside of what appears to be a large establishment. There's a Canadian flag, there's a Guyanese flag, an American flag, a CARICOM flag, and a European Union flag. Is that it? I think. So, on the backside of that building, oh, it's Pike Street. It's Pike Street. That's it. Not Campbell Avenue, but Pike Street in Campbellville. And this is Kanuku Street, right here in Campbellville in Georgetown, Guyana. Pike Street goes through Kitty. I guess that's the reason why I didn't think that there'd be one here in Campbellville. But this is Pike Street in Campbellville. This is another commercial residence and an original home in Campbellville. And Stone Avenue. We're approaching Stone Avenue and Pike Street. So a lot of the renovation in all of the neighborhoods in Georgetown. Here, for example, is one going on Stone Avenue. This is the Mac Mansion being built here on Stone Avenue in Campbellville. You can see it's going to take up all of the land on which it's built, the footprint, so they've maximized the internal square footage, right, the floor space, and it's also going to use much more of a Georgia style mega mansion design. We'll come back and see what it looks like when it's completed. I don't know exactly what they're building here, but as you can see, it's pretty large. And this is what it looks like, I guess, when it's completed. The kinds of homes that are being built in 2023, right, in the 2020s. This is newly constructed or renovated home in Campbellville. Now, this is quite impressive when you consider that a lot of the homes in Campbellville started out as this, right? This is the size of the home, and this is the home that, you know, these homes are, for example, being replaced by massive buildings, and some of it, this green structure is hiding what seemed to be the metal frame, right, a steel frame of another building that's being constructed here behind this green fence. Those uprights are part of the metal framework. So steel frame of a building. Behind is that hotel, right? So all of Georgetown is going through this wave of construction as we head back to Pike Street in Campbellville. Right, Pike Street. As we head back to Pike Street in Campbellville. All of Georgetown is going through this wave of construction. This is Redeemer Primary School. As we head out to Sheriff Street. That's Redeemer Primary School here at the corner of Pike Street and Stone Avenue in Campbellville. And eventually a lot of these homes are going to be renovated to look like that one at the corner, going up taller, bigger, because I suppose there's a lot more there's a lot more money to build now, right now that the country's finally hit its stride, its growth stride. It's going through an oil boom with about 50% GDP growth per annum, and a lot of Guyanese returning from abroad where they've been living and bringing back not only wealth but ideas for how to live differently in the tropics. And the result is a transformation of Georgetown, the city, into what it would be unrecognizable from its origins, because this started out as a colonial city. You know, after independence, a lot of the architecture tends to be copies of British designs, what they have in England, the narrow streets and the colonial architecture, or how the British imagined they could build homes in the tropics with their kind of ventilation. Back on Sheriff Street, and just before we get to the end of this video, I wanted to show you again this building. When it started out, I thought it was going to be an apartment complex. Since then, they've painted it white, and I think it's now part of another kind of business that involves vehicles, lots of vehicles. So it might be car related business, but it's certainly not an apartment or condominium complex that I thought it was going to be when I first saw it. It seemed to be in the transportation business. Right, it seems to be in the transportation business because of all the parking spaces and vehicles. Oh, it's SBM Offshore. So they're in oil and gas. Oil and gas industry. So again, most of the money flowing into the country is coming from the oil sector, or at least is stimulating growth. That's a lot of the money. Investment of about $4 billion in the development of the oil and gas sector is trickling down through companies that provide services as contractors to the oil sector, and that's one of them. SBM Offshore seems to be one of the companies that handles the shore-based shore-based aspects of the oil and gas industry, and providing, contracts for the rest. So this is what's happening here on Sheriff Street. Lots of steel frames. You can see quite a few steel frames going up. Steel frames of buildings. Some of them have been around for a while, but are now being bought up and completed. This one, for example, is being renovated. Remember, this building had been languishing for more than a decade. Somebody has purchased this, what used to be massive structure on 5th Street, and completed the exterior, so there's now a painted exterior. What started out to look like as if it was going to be some kind of condominium complex or hotel. I don't know what it is going to be now, but as you can see, it's in a better state than it was the last time we were in this neck of the woods. In fact, it looks a lot more like the one next door. That is what it looks like. The last time we were in this neck of the woods, it looked as if it was an abandoned construction project, and it had been that way for about 10 years. Now for example, now it's definitely a little better. Morning. You know what is this hotel?
I think it's built to be an apartment place.
Apartment complex. Okay, so apparently they're building an apartment complex here on 5th Avenue. The electrical work seems to have been installed on the back side of the building. Alright, this is on 5th Avenue. Morning. So this is going to be a condominium complex here in 5th Avenue in Campbellville. It's a rather tall building. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 floors. If you count the ground floor, 9 floors in this neck of the woods, which was already a residential neighborhood with all of these, I think, developer houses. So this is a set of houses that were built for rental to diplomats and government ministers and so on. So that condominium, 9 floors, is larger in scale than anything in this neighborhood, but still falls within, I guess, residential zoning. This, for example, is a new home on Stone Avenue. Campbellville. We're back on Stone Avenue. These houses, for example, this is what the original government flats looked like. These were built as government housing back in the 1960s by the Burnham administration. And then these new homes built by a developer for rental, right? A set of homes all about the same, looking exactly in the same in that lot. This is a new 3-story building, probably still under construction, not fully completed, judging from that south end of the building. But this massive structure, this massive building, 9 floors of condominium, is apparently where we're headed in terms of housing in Guyana. So that's what's up, guys. This is some of the development here in Campbellville as we left Prashad Nagar to take a look at what's happening outside of Prashad Nagar. This is what's happening. These are the changes. Larger, taller buildings that are being built by developers as multi-unit condominium complexes, and this is one of them that had been languishing for more than a decade, but is now apparently under new ownership and being completed for residences. You want to see more content like this? Click like and subscribe in the comments below. Tell me what you think about the changes happening here in Georgetown, Guyana, happening in residential neighborhoods as the country develops. One of the fastest growing countries in the world, with a GDP growth rate of 50% or more, and that shows in the construction projects going on in the city. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown, Guyana. Later!